Hello everyone, this is Benjamin here. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Express and what Express can do for us. So what is Express? Well, according to the website, it's a fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js. It can handle applications, web applications, APIs, performance frameworks. It's basically a framework that makes it easy for us to work with taking requests in and then responding to those requests. That's pretty much what Express is. So it gives us an easy way to work with requests on the web. And that's what we are going to be talking about today. So I have set up a very simple project here. It's based off of the let me just see here, one of the exercises in the Node.js part here, and week 2, and then the exercise template. That's like what the code that I have is based off on. So if you want to work with this, clone the Node.js repository down, navigate into this folder, Node.js week 2 exercise template, and then start your Visual Studio Code there. Yes, and as I've said before in some videos, it's important that you take your time to answer the questions that I'm asking, because that moves your learning from passive to active, because you're actively trying to learn and apply some of the things that I'm talking about. And that will just help you remember better and also understand better. And also try to take notes during this video. It has shown that then you can also easier remember what I've been talking about. Anyway, let's get to Express. So to begin with, we create a variable called Express, and we require Express. So how do you think we get Express here? How can that even work? And if you take your time and answer that, it's also okay if you're unsure. So it works because we have the package.json, where we specify a lot of things, but some of the things we specify is the applications or the libraries that we are using in this project. And here we have Express with some specific version. So that means when we go and say npm install, if I say like npm install and press enter, then it'll install the dependencies that we have here. That means Express and Node1. And Node1 is the one that helps us that when we save some file, it'll reopen the Node.js server. When we press npm install, then it'll create this folder here called Node modules, where all our libraries will be in. Yes, so that's the reason we can use Express. So we create the variable called Express, and it's a function that we can call, and it'll give us an app. And what is an app? So on an app, we can use different functions. And some of the ones that we're going to be talking about is the method called use and gets. Yes. There's also one called listen. So if we just start this up, press npm run dev. And so what happens when we press npm run dev? Can someone answer that question? Or not answer it, just write it down. I'm not teaching a class. Yes, so it basically runs the command that is specified in the scripts. So npm run start will run this command, npm run server will run this command, and npm run dev will run npm run server, which means that when we write npm run dev, it's exactly the same like writing nodemon, dot slash source backend index blah blah blah. This just takes a lot of time to write, so it's easier to just write npm run dev. It's like a shortcut, you could say. Yes, what we're seeing is that it says ready on localhost. That means the application, the Express application that we've created, is ready to receive requests and respond to them. Cool. So let's set up so we can receive some requests. So we can write app.get, and I will explain just in a second. Request and response. Okay. If you want to look up exactly what this function does, we can probably look at it here in the API reference. And application app.get returns the value of name app setting, where name is one of the strings. This one. App.get, we give it some path and a callback function. Routes HTTP requests to the specified path with the specified callback function. So what does that mean? It means that when we hit this path on our server that is running on localhost on port 3000, meaning colon 3000, now this function will get called. Okay, this is a function. It's just an arrow function, and you've all seen this before. So we can say console.log and in here. Now my question to you is, how do you think we can call this function now? So take your time and answer that. Yes, so how we can call this function here is by going to this path. So that means we'll go to localhost 3000. I think I have it running here. Localhost 3000, and the path is slash. So let's try and see here. Nothing happens. And that's because we haven't responded with anything. But we can see down here that it says in here, meaning that this function was called. Okay. So when we use the app.get, we specify the path, and then we specify the function that we want to call when this path gets a request. Okay. So if I write Benjamin here, now I have to say Benjamin here as well. And let's see, it still gets the in here now. If you're not fully convinced, reload, and in here Benjamin. Okay. So now the problem is that when we load this page, it just says, oh, sorry, not this one, the Benjamin. It's like it's stalling. It's just kind of waiting-ish. And that's because the Express application has gotten a request, but it hasn't responded with anything yet. So the browser is kind of waiting, like it's waiting for the response. It's like, oh, this is taking a long time for this path to respond, but I'll just wait. I'll wait, and waits and waits and waits, and at some point it won't wait anymore. Then it'll just say, I don't think I'm ever gonna get a response here. So what we have to do is we have to respond to the request. And we can do that by saying respond.send, and we can say Benjamin, for example. So now when we go to the /Benjamin path, we will respond with the string Benjamin. So you see here, it's responding with the string Benjamin. Yes, and we could set up another route if we wanted to, called Ahmed, and we could respond with Ahmed. Did I not write that? Oh. and we need to save it. Yes. Cannot get. Did I still not write it? That was awfully spelled. Yes, here we go. Okay. Yes. So we can do different requests, and we can respond with different things here. The GET request is a specific kind of request. There are different kinds of requests. We can do a post request, we can do a patch request, we can do a delete request. And then we write, for example, post here or delete here. It's not so important for you to know at this specific point in time. Just know that the reason that it's called app.get is because we are making a GET request. And we can actually even see that the browser, when we hit this URL, is making a GET request. If you see here, if you go to the network, you can see all the requests that are being sent and received from the browser. And here we see that the browser sends a GET request to this URL and with this path. Okay? And that's why we say app.get, because when you access a web page, it makes a GET request. Cool. Now let's talk about routers. So imagine you have a huge website, and imagine you had to do all these app.gets everywhere here. Then you would have a lot of websites, and suddenly you would just have like a lot of code in this file. You would have so many app.gets everywhere, and it would get like a quite big mess. So what we can do is that we can create a router. And what is a router? A router is like a mini application, you could say. Just like the application here can, it can take in requests and it can respond to those requests. So let's try and make a new router, and let's just call it router. And here we do router, I'm pretty sure. And now we can say app, and instead of .get, we say app.use. We specify a path. So say, for example, we have a page where there are a lot of about pages within them. So imagine you go to a website, you click on about, and then in this about, maybe there's like about working here. There's things about like the strategies and goals and all those kind of things. So let's say we want to contain all those pages in about and have a specific router handling all those requests. So we'll do here /about, and then for all of the requests that comes to the /about, all of those requests, this router will take care of. Okay, this router will handle all of those requests. So let's call it the about router, like this. Let's make it very clear that this is a little bit different from this. And then what we can do is that with the about router, just like with the app, we can say that, well, we want to get requests here. And if you hit the /about/, then we need to call this function here. Let's not do a console.log, but just send about. Okay. So now we tell to the application, the Express application that we used, that for all the requests that come into /about, this router should handle all of those requests. So a router is like a mini application, okay? So hopefully when I go to /about and then a / again, like this, I should see about. Okay. So we maybe have we have just the general /about, but we of course also have like /about/employers, and we'll just respond with employers. Then we have like all the values. We value transparency. So now the about router that handles all the requests that comes to about have defined two other URLs. One is called employers and one is called values. So if we go to about and values, now we'll see that like we value transparency. And we can also go to employers, and here we have the employers. Okay. So now the really cool, because maybe you're probably thinking, yeah, but Benjamin, this is the same. We're still just creating like a lot of requests. We're setting up like all the requests still in the same file. Yeah, but now the modular part comes in, which is super nice, which is that we can create a new file here, and let's just call it like the about router.jd.js. Yes, and we will take this code here. We will take this code and we will put it into the about router. Now we need to import some libraries. We need the Express and we need the app. So let's get that into here. We don't need this one. And now we can do the... how do I do it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.